Hello again, my little yarnivores and spiderettes. Fiber Spider back again with another tutorial just for you. And today I have got a perfect stitch for this time of year. It is called the thermal stitch. Yes, and it's called that because it is very thick. May not look it, but oh yes, it is very, very thick and squishy, and I really like it. And best of all, it's really quite simple. And so this particular swatch, by the way, I did this in Red Heart Super Saver with a size, let me see, it was a size K 6.5 millimeter hook. And so I did this. This is the single crochet version of the thermal stitch. Now I also did the double crochet version of the thermal stitch. Now this one I think is even better as far as, if you were to use this for, say, a garment or a blanket, because ooh, it is really nice and thick. And like I said, it is squishy. And as opposed to a typical double crochet, it's like, yep, it is, as you can see, really thick. And it looks the same on both sides. So what I would suggest, this is me personally, if you were going to, say, do a hot mat or a dishcloth or something like that, I would say do the single crochet of the thermal stitch, perhaps with a cotton. However, if you want to do something more of a garment, like a cowl or a blanket or something of that sort, I would say use the double crochet version of this stitch. So, without further ado, let's get started. All right, so first things first, we're going to start with the single crochet version of the thermal stitch, and then we'll work our way up to the double. So, as per usual, we're going to start with a slip knot and some chains. Now the number, totally up to you. You can make this piece as wide or as narrow as you want to, but as always, I do suggest doing a swatch first so that you get the hang of it. And because the fabric itself is going to be so thick, you could definitely go up a size or two for your hook size than you would normally use. All right, so play around. It's not an exact science. So we're going to do some chains. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, because 7's a lucky number. And then we'll do one more to work our way upwards. Alrighty, so for the first row of single crochets, I would suggest going into the back bump. So we're going to turn the work, and we're going to do our single crochets into the back bump, like so. And so it's going to be 7 single crochets for me. However, for you, it might be a good deal more. Totally up to you, but I would say, yeah, do a swatch first. So I'm just going to do my single crochets all the way across into the bottom bump, if you will. And also, because we are working with single crochets for this particular swatch, I'm sorry, I'm losing my voice. I'm not feeling very well this weekend. Since we are working with single crochets, I would strongly suggest counting the number of stitches periodically, because with single crochets, it's very easy for them to get lost, especially on the edges. So we've got 2, 4, 6, and this little guy at the end is 7. Perfect. Alrighty. So we shall continue on to the next row, which is going to be the repeat row. Yes, I told you it was simple. So let's press on. All right, so now typically what you would do if you were doing a normal single crochet project, you would chain up 1 and you would turn the work, and then you would go underneath both of the loops of the V, and you would just do your single crochets across. Well, this is a little bit different. So I'm going to undo that, shaboom, shaboom, shaboom. All right, so for this, actually, we're going to be working on this same side, believe it or not. Makes it a little bit easier, at least initially. So to explain further, we're going to chain up one, and so we still have the 2 loops there. Now, if we turn it this way, here would be the front loop, and there's the back loop. So I'm going to call it as the back loop, even though it's facing us. Yes, I'm confusing. If it's this way, the one that we're working into would be construed as the back loop. If we turn it this way, it would be the front loop. So at any rate, after chaining up one, you go in through just that one loop, okay, whether you want to call it the front or the back. Then we're going to scoot down to where we did our chains and go underneath that loop. So both on the same side, all right? Then we're going to proceed with doing our single crochet stitches. So yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And that is our first one done. Now, yes, it seems a little bit weird, but trust me. Okay, now we just went through that loop right there. So we need to go through the next one, which is right here. Okay, it can be a little bit tricky to see, but after the first row, it becomes easier. So I'm going to do that again for you, because yes, it can be a little bit tricky. So going to go through and through. Amen. And pull through 2, and then pull through 2. So then our next stitch is right over here. Okay, so go through, and then directly below into that loop. There we go, like so. Pull through 2, pull through 2, and then the next 2, these 2, through 1, and whoops, I know, I'm sorry. It's a little bit fiddly, but only at the beginning. Pull through 2, pull through 2, and then through the next. Got to coax it a little bit. Pull through 2, pull through 2, into the next, and then down below. Pull through 2, pull through 2, and then into the next 2. Pull through 2, pull through 2, and then one more. Pull through 2, pull through 2. All right, now you can see we have a bit of a ridge here. That is normal, okay? And again, yes, I'm going to double count my stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Yes, that is what we want. All right, so let's do a couple more rows, and then I'll show you how to do the finishing edge. Alrighty. Alrighty, so to continue right along, you just chain up 1, and then go through the loop facing us, and then through that bottom loop there. Pull through 2, pull through 2, going into the next stitch, through that lower loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, into the next stitch and the stitch below that little loop. Pull through 2, pull through 2, and at this point, if you're confident, you can turn the work as you would normally look at it, as long as you're going underneath that back loop and that lower loop, like so. And then doing your single crochet stitches as such. Personally, until I get really going, I like to hold it like this. That's just me personally. You know, do what works for you is what I always will say. And I will stand by that because my techniques may not work for you, or they might work for you. However it is that you get to where you want to get to, do it. All right. And again, I'm going to double count. So I've got 2, 4, 6, and 7. And that stitch at the end always likes to try to hide a little bit, but you got to be careful. Otherwise, your piece is going to shrink or grow if you accidentally add an extra stitch. So let's do another row. Chain up 1, going through that front loop and the loop below. And it will become easier as your piece is bigger as far as seeing where you need to stitch into. Now, yes, it is possible to make a mistake along the way, going into the wrong loop. Yeah, it's possible. In fact, while filming this, I did make a mistake and I had to undo and reshoot. And this is where we are. But that's okay. Right now we're just swatching. And there we go. And do a double count on the stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. Let's do another row. Chain up 1, through that loop, pull through 2, pull through 2. Through the next 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, through 2. Also, initially I would strongly suggest not using a very dark color when trying this out, especially for the first time, because it can be a little bit difficult seeing where you need to go into. See, like right here at the end, it's like right in there. You see, it can be a little bit tricky. So I would strongly suggest use a lighter color, at least initially when you're getting the hang of this stitch. Okay, so let's do another row. Chain up 1. And through 2 and 2. Through 2 and 2. Hello. Through 2 and 2. Through 2 and 2. Through 2 and 2. Through 2 and 2, and then at the very end, there you go. So you got to be careful. You got to get that last stitch. Otherwise, your count is going to be off, and that is no bueno. So yes, it does look like it's going, but if you stretch it out just a little bit, it will be just fine. All right, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Yes, our count is still accurate. Very good. All right, so then when you are done with your piece, now, yes, I know this is a swatch, but when you are done with your piece, all you need to do to finish it up is, again, chain up 1, and then instead of going through just that loop, you're going to want to go through both loops and that loop down below, because we need to eliminate this sort of ridge that we have going on there. So going through the 3 loops and then the 2. All right, next one, through those, and the one below, through 3, and through 2, into the next stitch, and the one below, through 3, and through 2, through 3, and through 2. I mean, technically it's 3 loops. Through 3, and through 2, through 3, and through 2, there we go, through 3, and through 2. Ta-da! And that way it's just as thick along this top edge as it is elsewhere. And that is important as far as giving it a nice, closed, and uniform look. Oh yeah. All right, so that is the single crochet version of the thermal stitch. So let's go on to the double crochet version. Alrighty. Alrighty, so for the double crochet version of the thermal stitch, we're going to start pretty much in exactly the same way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I'm going to add 2 more chains for a total of 9, although we're only going to have 7 double crochets. And so we're going to yarn over, and again, working into the back bump to make our double crochets. So just double crochet into each chain all the way across. So I'm still going to have 7 stitches for my swatch. Now the swatches that I initially did, it was 20, just to give you a real idea as to how it would look. But for the sake of this tutorial, I figured we could just do a smaller swatch since there's just, essentially a lot of repetition involved. Not a big deal. And then one more. Okay, so we've got 2, 4, 6, and 7. This one right here. This chaining up of 2 does not count. It's the top of that stitch that we're worried about. Also, working with the double crochet version of the thermal stitch will be a lot easier because you'll be able to see your end stitches a lot easier. So I personally prefer it much more so. All right, so let's get on to the actual thermal part of the stitch. Alrighty. Alrighty, now I'm going to, again, chain up 2 because 3, I think it's a little too wispy at the edges. With 2 chains, it's got a nice clean look to it. So after chaining up 2, yarn over, and then go through the front loop again, and then down here, the front loop. Okay. Pull through 2, then pull through 2, and then pull through 2. All right. On to the next stitch. And again, we went into this one here. You can see how it's sort of taut together. So going into the next one, and into the one below. Now we went into this one here. It's this next one right here. It's always tricky initially. See? Because this one is raised up. We're going to go into this next one. So through 2, and through 2. Yarn over through that one, and that one, through 2, through 2, through 2, yarn over, and then into the next 2, through 2, through 2, through 2, and yarning over and going through both of them again, through 2, through 2, through 2, yarn over, through 2, through 2, through 2, one more, yarn over. See, it's a lot easier to see where we're going into when we're doing doubles. A lot easier. Through 2, through 2, through 2. And then, of course, double count. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. This is our 7th stitch. Again, the chain 2 does not count. All right, so again, we have the ridge, and we are going to tackle that. Alrighty. All right, so for the next row and every subsequent row, we're going to start by chaining up 2, yarn over, going into that front loop, and the loop down below, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, yarn over, going into the next stitch, and that loop down below, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, yarn over, into the next stitch, and the loop down below, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, yarn over, next stitch, and the loop down below, pull through 2, through 2, through 2, yarn over, next stitch, and the loop below, pull through 2, and 2, and 2, yarn over, through that front loop, and the loop down below, pull through 2, and 2, and 2, yarn over, through that front loop, and the loop down below, pull through 2, and 2, and 2. All right, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Perfect. All right, let's do another row or 2 or however many. All right, chain up 2, yarn over, go through the front loop and the loop down below, pull through 2, through 2, through 2, yarn over, next stitch, and that loop down below, through 2, and 2, and 2, yarn over, next stitch, loop down below, through 2, and 2, and 2, yarn over, next stitch, and yes, this is the loop down below because this one is raised up, so it's this loop right here. It can be a little bit easy to get lost, but there are tricks which I'm trying to show you so that you don't get lost. So through 2, and I lost my yarn over, didn't I? Yes. Okay, through that loop and the loop down below, through 2, through 2, through 2, yarn over, into the next stitch, and the one below, through 2, through 2, through 2, yarn over, into the next stitch, and the one below, through 2, through 2, through 2, yarn over, and the last stitch, and down below, through 2, through 2, through 2. Okay, so we should be at 7. So 2, 4, 6, and 7. Very good. Let's do another row. for the sake of being thorough and because I love spending time with you guys. I just wish I were feeling better. Fortunately, I don't have a fever, but I'm just sort of meh. All right, chain up 2, yarn over through that front loop, and then the loop down below, through 2 and 2 and 2, yarn over through that front loop, and the loop down below, through 2 and 2 and 2, yarn over, next stitch, and the loop down below, through 2 and 2 and 2, yarn over, next stitch, and the loop down below, through 2 and 2 and 2, yarn over, next stitch, loop down below, through 2 and 2 and 2, yarn over, through that first and there, through 2 and 2 and 2, yarn over, and one more to go, through that front loop, and the loop down below, through 2 and 2 and 2. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Yes. And as you can see, it is squishy. It is thick, and you can't even see through it. And it is the same on both sides. I love it. All right, so now I'm going to show you how to finish off your piece once you're done, because you don't want this ridge. No, no, no. That would look kind of wonky at best. So I'm going to show you how to finish it off. Alrighty. Okay, so when your piece is done and you want to eliminate this last ridge, well, we're going to do the same thing that we did before with the single crochet version. Going to chain up 1 and then go through both loops of that stitch and the loop down below and do our single crochets. So pull through 3, pull through 2. And then into the next stitch underneath both, and then down below, pull through 3, and then through 2, next stitch, and down below, pull through 3, pull through 2, next stitch, and down below, pull through 3, pull through 2, next stitch, and down below, pull through 3, pull through 2, next stitch, down below, pull through 3, pull through 2, and the last stitch, like so, and down below. So pull through 3 and pull through 2, and boom, you got it. So there's no more ridge to worry about, and it looks nice and clean and spiffy, and I love it. And I hope you guys love it too, because once you get the hang of the technique, yes, I know there are some fiddly bits, but once you get the hang of it, it is awesome sauce. And I'd like to see you guys give it a try. So with that being said, I hope you did like it. If you did, give a little thumbs up button down below. Show your support because I appreciate your appreciation. And also, please hit subscribe because I do try to post as often as I can, whether it's crocheting or knitting or audiobook narration. And of course, my other YouTube channel, Fiber Spider Games, where I do video game playthrough and commentary. It's a lot of fun. Would love to see you there. And until next time, I want all of you to stay inspired, stay caffeinated, and above all, stay stitching. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.